I respect Rick Stockstill. He's done a lot for Murfreesboro. I hear he's a great guy over there. Donates to a lot of causes, that kind of thing. But that program, it hasn't been good since Kid Stock left the QB position. Um, he was asked, kind of to reflect on last year's struggles and like the acrimonious parting of ways with Tony Franklin, right? He's the offensive coordinator. And he was like, I'm just looking forward. I'm a forward thinker. I don't dwell in the past, that kind of thing. And it's very evasive there. But I understand it. I mean, there's not much to gain talking about that. I mean, it's talking season. It's about looking forward and being, positive. So I get that. I didn't really think we're going to get too much else there. It says they're going to handle COVID. I mean, he was kind of accused of not taking the whole thing as seriously as he should by Tony Franklin. But the fact remains is that this squad is, I don't know that they're good enough. They have a lot of returning guys with a 10 on defense, 10 on offense, or something like that. The big question mark is the quarterback, right? Asher O'Hara left, and so you're like, okay, well, let's see who we got. Who's going to come in? Who's going to be the guy? Um, you know, they like right now. You can see me scanning. I'm trying to figure out who it's going to be. It's the NC State dude. Is that yeah right? Is it Hockman? Yeah. Sorry, too many names. Too many names to remember in this 2 days. I was at 14 teams and everybody has like 100 guys on the roster. It's a lot. Um, yeah. So Hockman stepping in. They like what he has. And yeah, again, the idea is like, well, we got a P5 type dude. He's going to come in, do P5 type things for us. Problem is, everybody has a P5 guy. Everybody has a senior. A lot of these teams have super seniors, right? So experience, talent, all that stuff. Everybody has it. It's kind of a wash. I think the only one, and maybe, and we'll talk about them a little bit later, is UAB. There may be the extreme version of that, and to the chagrin of everybody. Chagrin just means regret in French, in case you didn't know. Chagrin. Um, yeah, looking at their schedule, I see maybe a win, and that's the opener against Monmouth. I don't really see them sneaking up and beating everybody, even though last year they beat a terrible FIU. North Texas is bad, but they got blown out because they had no offense, right? They jumped out kind of early, but North Texas just destroyed them. Their defense was terrible. North Texas ran all the way through them, and then they couldn't score on North Texas defense. Just about the worst defense in the nation. So it gives you a sense of what Middle Tennessee was. Yes, they had a few guys opt out last year. Yes, they got more transfers in this year, but getting them guys to gel, getting everybody to pull together, that's going to be tough. I mean, you want to give Stockstill a little benefit of the doubt. He's been there 15 years, right? He won 94 games. He's won a lot of games and a lot of stuff. They've pulled through in seasons where you're like, I don't know how good they are, right? The championship game appearance a couple seasons ago, I was down on them that year, but they snuck in. Problem was, I think it was largely to the strength of Kid Stockstill. Now I think he's a receivers coach, right? So maybe he brings a little bit of that magic back. I don't know. I don't know. But we'll pause talking about Middle Tennessee right now because I don't think there's a whole lot that a good portion of everybody cares about. So FIU, let's talk about them. I think this one is another situation where I could see it going either way. And I didn't get far enough to start sketching out what I thought their schedule was going to look like. So I don't have a comparable. Here's what I think is going to happen with them, and that's on me. So I'll take full responsibility for that, guys. I also didn't get a chance to interview Butch Davis directly. I had previous engagement, but I'll say this: he's underperformed. Right, you brought him in to do a little bit of a Lane Kiffin type thing. Right, he came in at the same time. Lane Kiffin won 2 championships and won every head-to-head against FIU. That's it. Like, at the end of the day, that's what you're paying this guy to do. Yes, to revive the program, but definitely to beat your rivals, right? The FAU game, and then definitely to compete seriously for a championship. They had it in their grasp. They lost the late game. They thought, okay, we're going to come back and do really good things. They didn't. They came back and had a terrible season last year, and then last year 0-5 and 0-3. Right, the only thing that saved that terrible season a couple seasons ago was that they beat Miami. So cool. That maybe we saved everybody's bacon, maybe. Last year, 0 and 5, 0 and 3. They basically were an afterthought. A lot of that was because of COVID. So we can't read too much into them because of that. A lot of returning guys, 9 on defense, 7 on offense. Was it Bortenschlager? He's the dude. We'll see. I don't know. It's very difficult to get a read on the Panthers. I'll say that Butch Davis is a good evaluator of quarterbacks. I mean, he had, I forget their name now, but he had a couple guys, and everybody's like, well, this guy's gonna be the cut, and then he turns out to be beat out Mason Fine for like a quarterback award. I forget what it was. Point is, you can't count out Butch Davis. He knows how to coach football. However, he has underperformed, and ain't no way around it. You brought him in, big name guy to win games, not to do an almost one or could have been or let's play compare excuses. All right, let's get down to it. Last team, as is everybody, right? Last team, Old Dominion, the Monarchs. Everybody remembers last season, right? When they didn't play, they opted out smartly. Not, I don't know. Nobody got COVID, right, from not playing. So that worked. They didn't have any games canceled because they had all the games canceled. 2019, not good, right? Coach is fired. They do beat Norfolk State. That 1-11 season basically got Bobby Wilder canned. And I like Bobby Wilder. He was high on my rankings of guys to talk to. He's fun, easy quote, fun to talk to. Ricky Ronnie, not so easy. He's a little stiff. He was kind of, just I'm not big on opening statements. So I'm just gonna understandable. It's like his first go around as a head coach. It's kind of a weird situation. So I get it. But it just, fact remains he's not really easy to talk to in that circumstance. All that said, a lot of young guys, a lot of new faces. It's basically like they're starting a program over, which may be good. I don't know. Bobby Wilder did a tough job, right? And he got this team to 10 wins, I believe it was, right? They got a bowl game appearance, and did they win that one? I forget now. Old Dominion looked like they were doing, they were just ready for the next step. They had the new stadium coming. Everything seemed lined up. They had talent. They even had some NFL talent, and then they just couldn't win. They tried to go all in on a young quarterback, a young quarterback. He was like 18. That didn't work out. One thing led to another. Injuries, just underperforming all ate up the potential. And then when it was time to actually rebuild, they're like, okay, let's get some transfers in here. Let's try to do that. That didn't work out. You had a 1-11 season. Okay, that was it. Ricky Ronnie comes in, having been in successful programs previously. What was it? Penn State, right? You're like, okay, well, what do you have? We don't know. I don't know what this team's going to be. It's a very tough situation. It reminds me a little bit of that Old Dominion, but just with a lot better recruiting profile, right? I mean, what did I say? Old Dominion, UTEP, but with a lot better recruiting profile. It's just that you just kind of have to start at the beginning. And, so this season's going to be sort of a wash. I wouldn't be surprised if they got an upset here or there. I just don't know who that comes against, right? You got Wake Forest, Hampton, Liberty, Buffalo, at UTEP. Maybe you can beat UTEP, but UTEP's supposed to be better. I'll talk about them later on, but Demos says he likes their depth now. You go to Marshall. I think Marshall's going to be in a down year, but you go to Marshall. That's tough. You play Western Kentucky at home, so maybe that one. Maybe there's like a little bit of a home cook in there. You have Tech at home. It's tough to travel to the East Coast, so maybe Tech's trying to meld a team together. So maybe that's a sneaky win. You get Florida Atlantic at home, but that's not an east-west trip. They're just going north, so I don't really see it. You travel to Middle Tennessee. Again, that's tough. I don't think Middle Tennessee is going to be great, but then you're traveling. You're just going to be on the road with a young team, and then you have Charlotte at home. Again, same kind of deal. I just don't think they have the tools to beat a Charlotte, which I think is going to be pretty good. But you never know, right? That's the fun of college football. I don't really expect them to compete for the East title. They'll maybe muck some things up and cause some problems. So yeah, I think that's basically the rough estimate of the East. Again, number one, probably FAU. I think they're going to win this thing. I I think Marshall's probably going to have a down year, but I could see either of them just like trading places. Maybe comes down to a couple games at the end of the season, or who played who, or what team lost to a common opponent, something like that. Look out for Western Kentucky. I think that offense is going to be really good. At the very least, it'll be fun, and so maybe just fun to watch. That's a squad you kind of pull up if your favorite team is not playing at that hour. Or when you just want to go watch something else, go watch Bailey Zappi throw for 500 yards because I think he will at least in one game. Charlotte always fun, clever on offense. I like to watch them. I think they've got more talent in, so they can turn some of that scheme into execution. When they had that running back a couple seasons ago, I thought they did. I forget his name now, but you can kind of see like, wow, that put them in position to do some amazing things, and that's kind of what they want to do. They just need more talent in there. I think they're a little bit more talented now. So again, Middle Tennessee, I like their guys. I mean, you kind of want to be friends with everybody on Middle Tennessee, but I don't think they're gonna be that good. FIU, they could be. You know what? FIU was just sort of an unknown to me. They just got so much talent, and I believe in Butch Davis as a coach. I could see them just all of a sudden beating everybody. I'm like, well, unsurprising, but I could also see them having another terrible season. Um, there you go. That's how I see that. So yeah, let's talk.